Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at summarizing data. This is 3.8a Readiness Practice, the intermediate version. If you are interested in exploring the 3.8a resources aligned with the proficient or advanced versions, or for exploring readiness resources aligned with any other standard, you can find them by using the link in the video description. So we have third grade students in Mr. Daffern's class, and they voted for their favorite school lunch. We need to create a bar graph, all right? And we need to count by twos, okay? So the numbers on the left side we're going to need to count by twos. And so what we're going to do is we are going to draw. We're going to be as careful as we can. So if you were doing this with pencil and paper, you probably would do this with a ruler. I'm going to use this line feature here, and let's see, let's get that to be black. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to just draw these lines here, and we need to skip count by twos, and we need to get up to 8, and you don't probably want tacos to be the very top. So I want to go up to 10, which means we're going to try to space these out here, and we're going to make them uh, as equidistant as we can. We want them to kind of try to be the same distance apart from each other. If we can do that, we're good to go. And if not, that's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're drawing this by hand, so we're trying to get as close as we can. So the bottom line is going to be 0, 2, 4, 6. I need 2 more lines. So let's get an 8, and then we'll make this 10. All right, once again, if we're hand drawing it, the lines might not necessarily be right next to each other and the same distance, and if so, that's fine. And then if you don't like some of the lines that are sticking out, you can actually use a white marker right here, and we're just going to kind of draw over this. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a line that is going to be on my left side, and that's going to be my scale. And if I could do that, there we go. I'm going to make it go right up there. All right, and so that is going to be my left scale, and let's go ahead and label it now. So we can label it. So that's going to be 0. Let's get back to, there we go. Let's get the drawing back. 0. Skip counting by twos. 4, 6. Let's get 8, 10. All right, so drawing your graph, that's what's going to be the hard part. Now, we need 4 categories. We need pizza, tacos, hamburgers, and chicken nuggets. All right, so I'm going to make each of these just a different color just to make them stand out a little bit. So pizza, tacos. All right, we got hamburgers. And then we need chicken nuggets. And I'll put that on 2 rows here. So we want to make sure we label everything. So this is going to be a bar graph. We have our scale, skip counting by twos on the left. And so what do we know about our pizza? 6 votes. All right, so my pizza is going to go right to there. Okay, so I'm going to draw a bar like that. And then if you want, you can shade it in. I'll just do some diagonal lines to kind of show. So my tacos is going to have 8. So my 8 is going to go up to there. Still, I've got 2 lines coming down to make my bar. All right, and you can just do some diagonal lines. So there's my pizza, there's my tacos. Now my hamburger's got 7. So notice there is no 7. What I need to know is that if I skip count by twos, right, my 7 is going to be right there between 6 and 7, between 6 and 8. which means my line needs to actually come halfway between the 6 and the 8. So that's kind of the trick. When your scale factor is not 1, you have to sometimes find numbers in between the numbers you see on the left. My chicken nuggets was pretty easy. I think that was 4. All right, so let's get my nuggets to 4. That's going to go right here. All right, there we are. So that is our bar graph. Yours might not have the same colors, but you should have something that looks similar to that for this particular question. Next, we have a class of 25 students asking how many pets we have here. And we've got these results. We need to create a dot plot. All right, so a dot plot, we still need a straight line. So let's do that. But we just need one line. And what we're going to do is we're going to label it with no pets, 1 pet, 2 pets, 3 pets. Okay, so let's just label this with a 0, a 1, a 2, and a 3. And we'll go ahead and put a title down here. We'll say number of pets. Now with a dot plot, you have each dot, and I'm going to represent my dots here I'll put them in red. Each dot represents an answer, and you want to try to make them as close together as possible in regards to rows. So it's kind of like a bar graph without those extra lines that are drawn. So let's see. I'm going to change that to this marker here so we can make them a little bit bigger. So I've got 6 that have no pet. So what I want to do here is I want to make these dots kind of big. I don't want to just have a little tiny dot, and I'm going to try to space them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can almost imagine there's a bar graph with a scale on the left, lines going across. It's like a bar, except that each dot represents 1. So that's what the difference there is. So I've got 7 with 1 pet. Now, what I want to do is I want to use my 0 as my guide, because my 0 had 6. So I want to make them on the same line as my 0, that same distance apart. And so what you want is you want it when it gets up to 6 for 1 pet, you want it to be the exact same height as the 6 and the 0 pets. All right, so look, those two should look equal. And then I just want one more. That's going to represent my 7. But a neat trick with the dot plot is if you find the lowest one, you can count how many that is, and that lets you know a portion of how much is in each other stack. So I've only got 4 steps, 4 students that have 2 pets. So I'm just going to follow these same lines that I've already established horizontally with 0 and 1. And I'm just going to go up to 4. So they're nice and neat here. Now, 3 pets has the most. It's got 8. So I'm going to go up to my 7 on 1 pet, and then I'm just going to extend that up 1. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, see 4, 5, 6. Now let's get it up to that 7. Then one more up here. Let's get it up to that 8. All right, so there we have it. That is our dot plot showing the number of pets in the class. All right, so now we have a local bakery. We've got the number of cookies here, and we're going to create a pictograph showing the number of cookies sold, and we need a key. Okay, so the key is going to be important here. And so each cookie is going to represent 2. So I'm going to make my pictograph like this. Let's get some lines. And so I'm going to get it. It's going to kind of look like this. I'm going to make it go across like this. And then how many cookies do I have? I've got 4 cookies. So I'm going to make each cookie have their own line. Try to get them to be the same distance across. If they're not perfect, that's fine. It's going to go like this. All right, so that's going to get me 3 rows. Then I need 1 more. All right, I'm also going to create a line that is like this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use that to kind of house the names. So we've got chocolate chip. I'm going to represent that with CHOC. I'm going to put sugar. I'm going to put oatmeal raisin down here. And then PB, peanut butter. Let's put that down here. Now with a pictograph, it's kind of like a bar graph that's on its side or a dot plot. But what you're doing is you're using pictures to represent things. So I'm going to make my cookies blue here, and I need a key. And actually what I'm going to do is instead of that, since I'm going to make them circles. So since we're making cookies, let's make them circular cookies. And I'll do that right there. And so what I need is I need to use this here, and I need to represent that as equals 2 cookies. All right, so when you see that blue circle, that lets you know that that is going to equal 2 cookies. Okay? And then now I need to figure out how many sets of 2 circles. So if there's 24 chocolate chips, that's I need sets of 2 to equal 24. So I can view it like this. I can think 2 times what is going to get me 24. 2 times what is going to get me 16. 2 times what is going to get me 8. 2 times what is going to get me 12. Or you could have just divided them. You could have done 24 divided by 2. That would work. Either way, you're going to get 12. I need 12 circles to represent my 24 cookies. I need 8 circles to represent my 8 sugar cookies. I need 4 circles to represent my oatmeal raisins. And then my peanut butter, right, is going to be 6. All right, so let's get our circles out here. And I need 12 to get my chocolate chip. Now, when you're using this, you might not get them all to be the same length or the same diameter. So we're just going to try our best. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 so far. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. That was the most, 24. So that should be 24. Let's count. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. All right. So sugar cookies, I need 8 of them. So I can just tap, and that's going to be a little bit easier. I did not know that, so we all learned something together. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That gets me that. All right, so on my oatmeal raisin, I need 4. So I just need 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on my peanut butter, what do I need? 6. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. So if you are interested in looking at the summarizing data resources for the proficient or the advanced version, or the readiness practice resources aligned with any other standard, you can find them by using the link in the video description.